seated.
Start. You have to bear with me with the wind a little bit. We have a really beautiful day here. Kristin and Roman, today we're gathered here to celebrate the love that you've discovered in one another and to support the commitment that you're about to make to each other. Now, before we get started, I have to ask, if anyone here thinks this couple should not be wed here today, speak now or forever hold your peace. Thank God. There was nothing beyond instructions. If somebody did it, that was good. Kristin and Roman present themselves to be married today. I'm sure overjoyed and enveloped by the love of their friends, family, friends of the family, and any random plus ones out there. The couple would like to begin by extending a warm welcome and thanking you all for your presence here today. However, your job is far from over at just being witnesses to this special occasion. As the couple's nearest and dearest friends and family, I request that you're also willing to offer your encouragement and lifelong support in their marriage going forward. Marriage is more than just this special and sacred day. It's more than the awesome party that awaits us after the ceremony. Marriage encompasses the entire lifetime that lies ahead of you. That includes the great times and the hard times, the highs and the lows, the sun and the rain alike, and the vows that bind you every moment in between. So in front of a rather large congregation, I, an unmarried man, as so many people here are keen to point out, would like to impart some wisdom regarding growing old and sharing a life together. Now, this may come as a shock to many of you here, but I am actually not a priest. Regardless, as someone who has had the privilege of getting to know Kristin and Roman over the past few years, I couldn't help but feel blessed and honored when they asked me to be a part of the most important day of their lives. When I asked them how they wanted this ceremony to go, they each responded in what was so unbelievably characteristic of each of their respective personalities. Kristin, her response was laid back but organized and elegant. Roman said he just wanted it to be funny, lighthearted, and most of all, something that Kristin would love. They both, however, were insistent that it at least be long enough for the open bar to be ready and the hors d'oeuvres to be served. That is called having your priorities in order, and they certainly did. I'd like to start introducing the couple by talking about the beautiful bride, the woman soon to formally be known as Kristin McSherry. It's really fitting that so many of you are here today to honor her on this occasion, because everyone who knows Kristin knows how highly she values her friends and family. At every family party, wedding, baby shower, or meaningful event, she shows up for the ones that she loves. She attended multiple soup cook-offs, spent holiday weekends visiting the Shriver homestead to take in the atmosphere where her granddad spent summers growing up, and is always down to hop on a train or take a car for a casual hangout. The importance of being present for her loved ones is something which she holds in very high regards and has bestowed upon many of us here time and time again. So Kristin, speaking for the entire group here, it's a privilege to show up for you today. Kristin is kind and somehow never has a bad word to say about anyone. Seriously, the next time you're talking with her, throw somebody under the bus, and I guarantee you she says something very neutral, like, oh, they were probably just having a bad day. As her sister Rachel remarked, when speaking about her, her relentless optimism and constant positivity is sometimes confusing, but always contagious. And most of all, she has a great sense of humor. You could almost always find her laughing or giggling. She certainly seems to have inherited this sense of humor from her parents, Danny and Vanessa, only to be bolstered by her brothers and sister, and finally magnetized by her seemingly endless army of cousins. All these wonderful traits, the dedication, the kindness, the patience, the sense of humor, while helping mold a well-rounded individual, aren't fully complete without someone to share them with. Which brings us to Roman. You knew you were coming. Roman would be completely satisfied if we made the next 5 minutes of his wedding the roast of Roman Mikoyanets, which just highlights one of the best characteristics someone could have. Not only the ability to make a joke, but the ability to take a joke. We're not going to do any roasting here today. Or at least not until the reception. John, that's on you, buddy. Because on your special day, we want to emphasize the qualities that you possess that make you the man that you are and the husband that you're to become. Roman has a strong opinion on just about everything. When we first met, I wasn't entirely sure if that was a Ukrainian thing or a Roman thing, and it turns out it's a bit of both. Yeah. Just as Roman's sense of humor comes with an admirable amount of give and take, so do his opinions. He is frequently willing to share his almost always well thought out and researched point of view, but he is equally willing to listen to the point of view of others and give consideration to someone else's ideas and beliefs. That's the mark of a great person. He's not one to do something halfway. If he's gonna do it, he's gonna go all in, and that's the mark of a great partner. Roman tends to be more outspoken than Kristin, where she's a little bit more quiet and laid back, and I think that's important as well. Because in every relationship, there needs to be somebody who's willing to tell the waitress she forgot the side order of fries. It's right. I had the pleasure of meeting Roman's family last night, and they really do fit in with this crew. Speaking with Maria, Roman's mother, last night was an illuminating and understanding the character of Roman. She spoke of how she can tell he was nervous, but the source of this nervousness, it didn't come from getting married or being married. It came from him wanting this day to go off without a hiccup. He wanted everything to be perfect for everybody around him, especially Kristin. She also said, it's life. It's not always going to be perfect. She was highlighting that although not everything is bound to go perfectly and smoothly all the time, you'll always have each other, and that will make everything okay. Kristin and Roman are undoubtedly a perfect complement to each other. They're like-minded in all the ways that you should be similar to your partner, and they balance each other out in all the ways that you should be different from them. They share a love that is deep and true, a love that has a history so rich, it's kind of hard to tell where it began. They've casually come in and out of each other's lives a few times in their past, before the magnetism between them bound them to each other, never to be apart again. They met in high school, where despite being matched both in intellect and wit, Roman did in fact get caught cheating off her Latin exam. Whether he really wanted Kristin's answers, or just to get closer to the person writing them, neither of them are willing to admit. There may have been a movie date and a few awkward failed attempted handholds after the Latin debacle. But they eventually figured that out. It wasn't until a year or two later when Kristin and Roman met up with each other and some mutual friends at Roman's college, when he said the words to his buddies that today will officially be true. Stay away from her. She's my girl. As life would have it, they would drift apart again until years ago, he moved to DC and she was visiting friends. She would reach out to him for lunch. Now, reconnecting as adults, closer to the people that stand before you today, the chemistry this time was undeniable and absolute. After some long distance dating, meeting the family, eventually making the leap of moving into a new city together to formally forge a bond that we're seeing the culmination of today. In their time as a couple, they've learned, developed, and in many cases excelled in the skills that make the foundation of a strong marriage. Skills that will serve as themes to be constants throughout their future together and function as the backbone in their relationship. Talk about this now. The skill of sharing each other's best and worst sides and loving each other the entire way through. Seeking happiness and betterment together, searching for the exciting, adventurous, and fun parts of life, but also relishing in the beauty and the more mundane aspects of life and cohabitation. Cultivating flexibility with one another, improving your patience and understanding, and not taking yourself too seriously. Making sure that when you begin your life together, you do so with a sense of humor. Generating companionship and always striving to protect one another. To forgive and heal your differences, but also relish in each other's accomplishments. A strong love, like the one we are all witnessing here today, can prevail in times of turmoil and will drive you to learn and grow as individuals, as well as strengthen your partnership together. Marriage is the ultimate bond you can form with one another. You came here today as individuals, but you will leave here as one, as man and wife. That means that if something happens to one of you, the other one will take on whatever debt you've racked up. But the point I'm trying to make is that the bond here that you make today you will forever gain a partner to navigate through the adventure and the uncertainty of life and the things that await you. You are wished a lifetime of smooth sailing and happiness, but should ever things get tough, you have the promises that you're about to make together today to hold you together. Your relationship and your love will prevail by honoring the commitment that you are making here, no matter how tough it may seem at times, which is just one of the many important reasons that you're making this vow to each other.